Imagine a rainy morning when a young girl's world is falling apart. Laura, just 7, is evicted from her home and left on the streets with her struggling mother. Her life transforms into a daily battle for survival, marked by loss and hardship. Yet, amid the harsh reality of street life, Laura finds hope in the kindness of strangers and the teachings of a wise old woman named Mrs. Molly. After her mother's tragic death, Laura faces the cold streets alone but remains steadfast, guided by the lessons of honesty and courage her mother imparted. One fateful night, Laura's life takes an unexpected turn when she finds a wallet belonging to a renowned lawyer, Albert Morgan. Returning it to him, Laura's act of integrity leads to a transformative journey. Albert, moved by her honesty, offers Laura a chance at a new life, one filled with hope, support, and the promise of a brighter future. Through the highs of new beginnings and the struggles of the adoption process, Laura's story unfolds into a tale of resilience and profound change. Albert's dedication helps Laura overcome her past and build a future brimming with possibilities. Their bond grows stronger, culminating in the joyous moment when their adoption becomes official, marking the beginning of their new life together. Join us as we explore this incredible journey from despair to hope and witness how one act of kindness can change a life forever. If you are not subscribed, I recommend you subscribe and activate the bell so you don't miss any videos. On a dismal, rain-drenched morning, the world of 7-year-old Laura seemed to unravel before her eyes. The young girl, her black hair matted against her tear-streaked face, clung desperately to her mother Lucy's hand as they confronted a heart-wrenching reality. Their once cozy, albeit modest, home was now a distant memory, its doors securely locked, and the remnants of their belongings scattered forlornly on the grimy sidewalk. The furniture, once a symbol of comfort and stability, now lay discarded and piled haphazardly, an unfortunate testament to their sudden descent into homelessness. Lucy, her face marked by fatigue and resignation, stared vacantly at the chaotic scene that had replaced their warm abode. The crushing reality of their eviction hit hard and fast. One moment they were a family with a home, the next they were adrift in the cruel, uncaring streets. Their eviction had been precipitated by the non-payment of rent, a direct consequence of Lucy's long and arduous struggle with alcoholism. For years, Lucy had fought valiantly to maintain a semblance of normalcy for her daughter, but the battle against her inner demons had taken its toll, eroding her ability to provide a stable environment for Laura. The roots of their hardship ran deep, stemming from a profound tragedy that had struck years earlier. Laura's father, a man known for his unwavering love and diligent work ethic, had been the pillar of their small family. His sudden death from a cardiac arrest had shattered their world, leaving Lucy engulfed in a tidal wave of grief and despair. Overwhelmed by the magnitude of her loss, Lucy sought refuge in alcohol, hoping to numb the searing pain of her bereavement. What began as a temporary escape soon morphed into a consuming addiction, drawing her further away from reality and leaving her bereft of the strength to support her daughter. As the rain poured relentlessly, the two wandered through the streets, their every step echoing the despair and helplessness that now defined their existence. The gray afternoon mirrored the bleakness of their circumstances, as Lucy, once a beacon of hope and love, struggled to find a way forward. Her addiction had not only eroded her sense of self, but had also robbed her of the ability to be the nurturing mother Laura needed. Each drop of rain seemed to amplify the crushing weight of their misfortune, as they grappled with a cold, indifferent world that seemed to close in around them. Laura, clutching her mother's hand with a mix of fear and hope, was a poignant symbol of innocence amidst the chaos. The streets, with their relentless challenges and harsh realities, offered little comfort or safety. Yet, through the haze of their misfortunes, there remained a glimmer of resilience in the bond between mother and daughter. Despite the overwhelming obstacles and the relentless struggle against their circumstances, Lucy's love for Laura shone through, a beacon in the stormy sea of their lives. As they navigated the harsh landscape of their new reality, the future seemed uncertain and fraught with difficulties. The struggle to find a place of refuge, to rebuild their lives from the shattered remnants of their past, was a daunting and seemingly insurmountable task. Yet, amid their adversity, Lucy and Laura held onto a fragile hope, a hope that somehow, against all odds, they might find a way to overcome their struggles and reclaim a semblance of the life they once knew. The initial weeks spent living on the streets were excruciatingly challenging for both Laura and Lucy. Deprived of the familiar safety of a home, they were thrust into an unforgiving world where each day was a struggle for survival. They roamed the city, desperately searching for a semblance of peace amidst the relentless chaos. The biting cold of the night seeped through their worn clothes, gnawing at their bones and sapping their strength. The ceaseless din of the city honking horns, distant sirens, and the murmur of bustling crowds served as a harsh, unyielding reminder of their harsh new reality. Despite the harshness of their circumstances, young Laura's innocence and resilience shone brightly. In her pure-hearted quest to find beauty amidst the bleakness, she discovered small pockets of joy that provided fleeting comfort. A vibrant flower daring to bloom through the cracks of the sidewalk, a warm smile from a kind stranger, these simple moments of kindness offered Laura a sliver of hope in an otherwise grim existence. As they settled into their new life on the streets, an unexpected source of support emerged from within the community. Despite facing their struggles, many people extended a helping hand to the duo. Among them was Mrs. Molly, an elderly woman with a cascade of silver hair, whose presence in the neighborhood spanned many years. Mrs. Molly, with her nurturing demeanor and compassionate heart, quickly became a motherly figure to Laura. She imparted important lessons about honesty, solidarity, and the strength of community. Her guiding principle was simple yet profound on the street: we are all family. This philosophy helped to weave a thread of unity and compassion among those who had once been strangers. Lucy, however, found herself in a relentless battle against her demons. The lure of alcohol was ever present, a cruel temptation that seemed to grow stronger as her hope dwindled. The struggle to maintain sobriety was a daily ordeal, made all the more grueling by the crushing weight of despair that seemed to envelop her. Her health, once a pillar of strength, began to deteriorate alarmingly. The vibrant glow that had characterized her appearance faded, leaving her face pale and gaunt. Her eyes, which had once held the promise of a brighter future, now mirrored a profound sorrow and deep-seated regret. As Lucy fought against her addiction, each day was a test of willpower and endurance. The stark contrast between her declining health and Laura's burgeoning spirit underscored the harsh reality of their situation. Yet, amid the bleakness, the support from people like Mrs. Molly and the resilience of little Laura provided a glimmer of light. Their journey, marked by hardship and struggle, was also punctuated by moments of unexpected kindness and solidarity, offering a sense of community that became a vital lifeline in their ongoing battle for a better future. On one particularly frigid night, Lucy's struggle with her illness came to a heartbreaking end. The relentless ravages of alcoholism had irreparably damaged her liver, and without access to medical care, she succumbed to her suffering. Laura, only 8 years old, held her mother's hand with quiet determination, her tears mingling with the dirt on her face as she watched her mother take her final breath. The silence of the night was punctuated only by the soft, sorrowful sobs of a child overwhelmed by the enormity of her loss. As she sat beside her mother's lifeless body, the weight of solitude settled heavily upon Laura, a palpable and oppressive presence. The ache of her loss was profound, and the uncertainty of the future loomed like an insurmountable mountain. Amid this profound grief, Mrs. Molly and other compassionate souls from the streets rallied around Laura, offering their support during this darkest of times. Together, they helped to lay Lucy to rest in a modest grave, marked only by a simple stone, a humble tribute to the life of a woman who had battled so fiercely. As they gathered to honor Lucy, Laura made a silent, solemn vow. She promised herself that she would uphold the values her mother had imparted and cherish the lessons learned from the friends she had made amidst the harsh realities of street life. Determined to forge a path forward despite the overwhelming grief, Laura set her sights on survival. The streets, unforgiving and harsh, became her battleground, but she refused to surrender. Drawing upon the strength and resilience that Lucy had instilled in her, Laura pushed onward. The memory of her mother and the hope of one day finding a place to call home fueled her resolve. Every step forward was a testament to her enduring spirit and the love that had guided her thus far. In the days following Lucy's death, Laura faced an unrelenting test of endurance. The absence of her mother was a void so immense that it threatened to engulf her. Confronted by the biting cold, relentless hunger, and the stark reality of her solitary existence, Laura was compelled to grow up far faster than any child should have to. Each day was a battle against the elements and her burgeoning fears, as she navigated the harsh streets with a newfound sense of maturity. The painful transition from being a child under her mother's care to becoming her source of strength was both overwhelming and transformative. Through this harrowing experience, Laura's spirit remained unbroken, driven by a profound sense of purpose and an unwavering hope for a brighter future. On the first night following her mother's death, Laura sought refuge beneath the awning of a shuttered shop. The bitter winter wind sliced through her meager clothing, leaving her shivering uncontrollably. As she huddled into a small, fragile ball, she struggled in vain to find warmth against the relentless cold. Her stomach, hollow and aching with hunger, growled in protest, yet Laura understood the necessity of fortitude. In the solitude of her hardship, she clung to the comforting echoes of happier days spent with her mother, and the unwavering resolve to uphold the values of honesty and bravery that Lucy had so deeply cherished. As the days passed, Laura ventured out to explore her surroundings, driven by a mix of necessity and curiosity. On the harsh streets, she encountered a group of homeless individuals, each bearing their tales of sorrow and struggle. Among them was George, a middle-aged man whose kind eyes and warm, welcoming smile stood out amidst the sea of hardship. Observing the lonely young girl, George's compassionate nature moved him to offer assistance. With a genuine desire to help, he took Laura under his wing, sharing his hard-earned wisdom about surviving the harsh realities of street life. George became Laura's mentor, guiding her through the complex landscape of urban survival. He taught her how to locate discarded food, navigate away from dangerous areas, and find safe havens for the night. Under his guidance, Laura learned the intricacies of survival, including how to make do with limited resources and recognize potential threats. George also introduced her to other members of the street community, including Mrs. Molly, whose role in Laura's life would become as pivotal as George's. Mrs. Molly, an elderly woman with a steely resolve and a heart brimming with generosity, quickly emerged as a maternal figure for Laura. Despite her struggles, Molly's capacity for care and support never wavered. Her wisdom and kindness provided Laura with much-needed comfort and guidance. Molly's mantra was simple yet profound: life on the street is tough, but it's still life. We need each other to survive. This philosophy became a cornerstone for Laura, instilling in her a sense of community and mutual support that was essential for enduring the daily trials of street life. As the weeks turned into months, Laura's resilience and determination began to crystallize. She faced adversity with a growing sense of strength, learning not to succumb to despair, but to approach challenges with creativity and resourcefulness. When the cold grew unbearable, she recalled the lessons from George and Mrs. Molly, seeking out safer shelters and ingeniously creating makeshift fires from discarded materials to ward off the biting chill. Each new day brought its own set of trials, but Laura faced them with the fortitude and ingenuity that had been nurtured by the compassionate individuals she met along her arduous journey. Despite the myriad challenges that defined her existence, Laura discovered precious moments of joy amidst the hardship. The camaraderie she shared with the other homeless individuals became a wellspring of solace and laughter. Around the warmth of a crackling fire, stories were exchanged and bonds were forged, creating a sense of belonging that felt like an unconventional family. This communal support was a lifeline for Laura, providing her with the emotional strength to persevere. She learned to celebrate small victories, such as securing a hot meal or finding a cozy blanket to ward off the chill. These small triumphs, though modest, became beacons of hope that sustained her spirit. Life on the streets was a relentless struggle, but Laura's resolve remained unshaken. Each obstacle she overcame and every difficulty she faced only fortified her determination. She held steadfast to the promise she had made to herself and her late mother one day. She would escape the harsh realities of street life and find a place she could truly call home. The path to that dream was daunting and fraught with obstacles, yet Laura's newfound resilience and the unwavering support of her street family inspired her to fight for a better future. As days turned into weeks and then months, Laura's courage and hope never wavered. Each day brought new trials, but she faced them with an unbreakable spirit, continuously nurturing the memory of her mother and the values she had instilled. Her heart remained steadfast, focused on the vision of a brighter, more stable future. One particularly cold and starry night, when the air was so frigid it felt like shards of ice slicing through the skin, Laura, now a mature 9-year-old, sought refuge under the awning of a shuttered shop. She was wrapped in a thin blanket she had managed to acquire just the day before, its worn fabric providing minimal warmth against the biting cold. Her sharp, vigilant eyes scanned the streets with a practiced wariness, ever alert for any hint of danger or chance for a new opportunity. As she kept watch, her attention was drawn to a sleek, black luxury car that glided to a stop in front of an opulent restaurant renowned for its elegance and elite clientele. The restaurant, a symbol of wealth and sophistication, stood in stark contrast to Laura's reality. It was a world of glittering extravagance and high society that felt worlds away from her harsh existence. Yet Laura was keenly aware of the stark divide between the lives of those who frequented such places and her daily struggle for survival. The sight of the luxury car and the glamorous establishment served as a poignant reminder of the vast disparities that marked her world, a world she hoped, one day, to transcend. Laura observed intently as an elegant man emerged from the sleek, black luxury car, his every movement exuding a palpable aura of confidence and grace. He was a tall figure with distinguished gray hair that framed his face with an air of wisdom and experience. His impeccably tailored suit, a masterpiece of high fashion, spoke volumes about his success and refined taste. As he gracefully stepped out of the vehicle, he inadvertently dropped his wallet, which slipped silently onto the curb. Unaware of the mishap, he continued his purposeful stride toward the grand entrance of the upscale restaurant, its opulent facade glistening under the city lights. From her vantage point, Laura watched with a mixture of curiosity and concern. The wallet lay there, a silent testament to the man's absent-mindedness, and Laura felt a pang of hesitation. The memory of her mother's teachings about honesty and integrity, as well as the values instilled by her street friends, came rushing back. These lessons had become her moral compass, guiding her through the harsh realities of street life. Determined to do what was right, she resolved to retrieve the wallet and wait for its rightful owner to return. With a sense of urgency and purpose, Laura darted towards the wallet, her small hands trembling slightly as she picked it up. Holding it close to her chest, she found a spot where she hoped the man might eventually return to search for his lost possession. Her heart raced with a mix of apprehension and hope as she scanned the street, waiting for a sign that he would come back. Albert Morgan, the renowned lawyer, soon realized his wallet was missing. The realization struck him like a thunderclap, and a wave of panic washed over him. His face, usually composed and serene, now displayed a look of frantic distress as he rushed out of the restaurant. His eyes darted anxiously across the sidewalk, searching desperately for any sign of his lost wallet. When he finally spotted Laura standing there with the wallet clutched tightly in her small hands, a profound sense of relief enveloped him. "Sir, I believe this belongs to you," Laura said, her voice barely more than a whisper, as she extended the wallet towards him. The tremor in her voice and the earnestness in her eyes conveyed her sincerity. Albert came to a halt, visibly moved by the girl's honesty and bravery. He accepted the wallet from her with an expression of deep gratitude, his relief palpable. A warm, genuine smile spread across his face, softening the stern lines etched by years of high-stakes legal battles. "Thank you so much, little girl. You've truly made my day," Albert said, his voice filled with heartfelt appreciation. His gaze lingered on Laura, noting her worn, threadbare clothing and the quiet resilience that shone through her eyes. His eyes softened with genuine concern as he took in her appearance and the silent story of hardship written on her young face. "May I ask your name?" "Laura," she replied softly, her gaze dropping modestly as she avoided meeting his eyes directly. Albert's expression softened further, reflecting a blend of compassion and curiosity. "I'd like to express my gratitude properly. How about joining me for dinner at the restaurant?" Laura hesitated, her heart fluttering with a mix of excitement and nervousness. The idea of stepping into such a luxurious establishment, so different from her usual surroundings, filled her with trepidation. Yet the kindness in Albert's eyes provided a comforting reassurance, and the thought of a warm, nourishing meal was a tempting escape from the constant hunger she endured. After a moment's consideration, she took a deep breath and accepted the invitation, feeling a flicker of hope at the prospect of a brief respite from her daily struggles. As she followed Albert into the restaurant, Laura marveled at the contrast between the opulent interior and the harsh reality of her street life. The elegant decor, soft lighting, and inviting warmth of the restaurant created a stark juxtaposition to the cold, unwelcoming streets she had known so well. For the first time in a long while, Laura allowed herself to be enveloped in a sense of comfort and safety, if only for a few precious hours. The kindness of a stranger had opened a door to a momentary haven, reminding her of the possibility of a brighter future amidst her challenging circumstances. "All right," Laura finally agreed, her voice barely audible. A reassuring smile spread across Albert's face as he gestured for her to follow. As they entered the restaurant, Laura's eyes widened in awe. The opulence of the place was breathtaking. The gleaming chandeliers that adorned the ceiling cast a warm, inviting glow, while elegantly set tables showcased an air of refined luxury. The gentle strains of soft music floated through the air, adding to the serene ambience of the establishment. A waiter approached them promptly, his uniform impeccable and his demeanor professional. Laura, feeling a mix of nervousness and wonder, allowed Albert to take the lead in order. She watched as the waiter efficiently took their requests, his eyes briefly acknowledging Laura's hesitant gaze before moving on to fulfill their order. As they waited for their meal, Albert's gaze lingered on Laura with a mixture of curiosity and admiration. He was fascinated by the juxtaposition of her youthful bravery and the harsh reality she had faced. The contrast between Laura's resilience and the comfort of the restaurant intrigued him. He noticed how Laura took in her surroundings with wide-eyed wonder, the warmth of the restaurant enveloping her like a protective cloak against the coldness of her previous existence. "Let's order something truly delightful, Laura. I have no doubt you'll enjoy it," Albert said, his tone encouraging and warm. His smile was genuine, meant to ease Laura's nerves and help her feel at home in this unfamiliar environment. Laura nodded in agreement, feeling a sense of relief as she observed Albert placing their orders with confident ease. The anticipation of a delicious meal momentarily distracted her from the harsh realities of waiting outside. As they waited for their food, Laura's initial anxiety began to dissipate, replaced by a growing sense of ease in Albert's presence. Her stomach rumbled in anticipation, but for the first time in a long while, she allowed herself to savor the moment and revel in the comforting atmosphere. The luxurious surroundings, with their soft lighting and elegant decor, provided a stark contrast to the cold and unwelcoming streets she had come to know all too well. In that opulent restaurant, Laura found herself part of an experience that was both surreal and transformative. The warmth of the place, coupled with Albert's kindness, offered a fleeting but precious respite from her daily struggles. The evening unfolded with an unexpected depth of connection between the two, as they shared more than just a meal. They exchanged stories that bridged the gap between their vastly different worlds, laughed together, and forged a bond that transcended social barriers and circumstances. As they dined, Laura felt a glimmer of hope and possibility stir within her. For one night, the boundaries of her harsh reality seemed to blur, replaced by a sense of belonging and comfort that she had almost forgotten was possible. Albert's generosity and the luxurious setting of the restaurant illuminated a path toward a brighter future, offering Laura a moment of peace and the promise of new beginnings. Albert, profoundly touched by Laura's honesty and the depth of her resilience, felt compelled to offer more than just a token of gratitude. His heart ached for the young girl whose courage had shone through despite her harrowing circumstances. Recognizing an opportunity to make a meaningful impact on Laura's life, Albert resolved to extend his support beyond that one night of warmth and comfort. After their dinner, Albert extended a heartfelt invitation for Laura to visit his home. He spoke with genuine empathy, explaining that he had connections with numerous charities and organizations dedicated to helping individuals in need. He intended to leverage these connections to provide Laura with the stability and support she so desperately required. The prospect of moving from a life of hardship to one filled with possibility was both exhilarating and daunting for Laura. Overwhelmed by the unexpected kindness and the chance for a new beginning, Laura accepted Albert's offer with a mixture of hope and uncertainty. Albert arranged for her to stay with a trusted friend who could offer her a temporary haven. Meanwhile, he dedicated himself to finding the best resources to aid Laura's transition from street life to stability. In the weeks that followed, Laura's life began to transform in ways she had scarcely imagined. Albert's unwavering support opened doors to essential services, a secure shelter, consistent meals, and access to medical care. More than that, he facilitated her enrollment in a local school. Laura quickly distinguished herself as an exceptionally bright and determined student, demonstrating an eagerness to learn and an impressive capacity for academic excellence. Albert took on the role of a mentor, guiding Laura through the intricacies of life skills that would serve her well into adulthood. His encouragement and wisdom were instrumental in helping Laura set and pursue her goals. With each passing day, Laura's resilience and intelligence continued to shine brightly, reflecting her newfound opportunities and the hope that now accompanied her. The transformation in Laura's life was nothing short of extraordinary. She went from a young girl grappling with the harsh realities of street life to a promising student with a future brimming with potential. Albert's act of kindness provided not only immediate relief, but also a profound shift in Laura's life trajectory. His support had given her the tools and confidence to build a new path, one paved with the promise of a brighter future. Laura's journey became a beacon of hope and a testament to the power of compassion. Her story illustrated how a single act of kindness could bridge seemingly insurmountable gaps and create transformative change. Albert Morgan's unexpected gesture, while starting with a lost wallet, evolved into a profound impact on a young girl's life. Laura now stood on the threshold of her dreams, with the guidance and support of a compassionate mentor lighting her way. As Laura and Albert prepared to take the significant step of formalizing their bond, a wave of emotions swept over them both. The idea of adoption, though promising, came with its own set of anxieties and uncertainties. Laura, despite her growing trust in Albert and the hope for a better future, felt a complex mix of relief and apprehension. The prospect of finding a permanent home stirred emotions she hadn't fully processed, while the looming reality of the adoption process brought its own set of nervousness. Albert, too, was wrestling with his insecurities and the gravity of the decision. He was deeply moved by Laura's resilience and the bond they had formed, yet the weight of the responsibility he was about to undertake was not lost on him. His commitment to providing Laura with the stability and love she deserved was unwavering, but he knew that this journey required more than just good intentions. It demanded dedication, patience, and a readiness to face the challenges that lay ahead. After weeks of introspection and heartfelt conversations with Laura, Albert felt a newfound resolve. He was ready to move forward with the adoption process, determined to create a home for Laura that was safe, nurturing, and filled with love. With a firm heart, he began the meticulous task of preparing the necessary paperwork, each form and document a step closer to making their shared dream a reality. The day of their initial meeting with the social worker arrived, and it was charged with both excitement and trepidation. Laura, dressed in the new clothes Albert had thoughtfully bought for her, was a picture of contrast. Her appearance spoke of a fresh start, yet her eyes held the depth of her past experiences. As they walked into the social services office, Laura's heart raced with nerves, but there was also a flicker of hope in her gaze. "It will be all right," Laura said softly, trying to muster a reassuring smile despite her inner turmoil. Albert, waiting alongside her in the reception area, squeezed her hand gently. His presence was a source of comfort, a steady anchor amidst the storm of emotions swirling within her. "Just be yourself," he encouraged, trying to instill a sense of calm. When the social worker, a middle-aged woman with a warm, empathetic demeanor, called them into her office, Laura's grip on Albert's hand tightened. Her heart pounded as they entered the room, but she drew strength from the kindness she had seen in Albert's eyes and the support she felt from him. The interviews that followed were an emotional ordeal for both Laura and Albert. For Laura, it meant revisiting the painful chapters of her life, the harsh realities of living on the streets, the loss of her mother, and the struggles she faced in the wake of these events. Each question posed by the social worker was a reminder of her hardships, yet Laura's responses were marked by raw honesty and a resilience that spoke volumes about her character. She spoke candidly about her mother's teachings, the values of honesty and solidarity that had guided her even through the darkest times. She recounted how Albert's unexpected kindness had reignited her hope and transformed her outlook on life. Laura's words conveyed not just her experiences, but the profound impact Albert had made on her life, demonstrating her readiness to embrace this new chapter with an open heart. Albert, in turn, shared his perspective on their journey. He spoke of his admiration for Laura's strength and his commitment to providing her with a loving, stable environment. His heartfelt assurances and detailed plans for their future together reflected his deep consideration and genuine intention to be a supportive and caring guardian. Despite the emotional intensity of the interviews, there was an underlying sense of optimism. Both Laura and Albert knew that this process, though challenging, was a crucial step toward a new beginning. The social worker, moved by their story and the genuine bond they shared, acknowledged the progress they had made and the sincerity of their intentions. As the meeting concluded and Laura and Albert left the office, there was a palpable sense of relief and cautious optimism. The road ahead was still long and filled with uncertainties, but they were now one step closer to creating the future they both yearned for. Laura's journey from the streets to the possibility of a permanent home was a testament to her courage and Albert's unwavering support. Together, they were forging a path toward a new life, one filled with hope, love, and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. The social worker, consistently impressed by Laura's remarkable maturity and Albert's unwavering dedication, guided them through the various stages of the adoption process. Home visits, psychological evaluations, and detailed interviews became a regular part of their routine. At each stage, it became increasingly clear that the bond between Albert and Laura was not only strong but growing deeper. During one of the home visits, the social worker observed the dynamic between Albert and Laura with keen interest. She saw how Albert, with genuine care, attended to Laura's needs and emotions, his actions reflecting a deep commitment to her well-being. Laura, for her part, responded with affection and respect, her trust in Albert evident in her every interaction. "It is clear that you two share a unique and profound connection," the social worker noted during one of the evaluations. "This bond is a crucial component of the adoption process. It's heartening to see how well you understand and support each other." Albert's face lit up with a relieved smile, and he glanced at Laura, who met his gaze with eyes that sparkled with hope and warmth. Their mutual support and growing affection were a testament to the strength of their relationship, reassuring the social worker that they were well on their way to becoming a family. The months that followed were a blend of anticipation and anxiety. Each completed stage in the adoption process brought them closer to their goal. The adjustments in Albert's home were ongoing, but they were met with a sense of optimism and enthusiasm. Laura was thriving in her new environment. Her school performance improved, she made new friends, and she began to explore and develop her interests. Albert, too, was finding his footing in his evolving role as a father. He discovered a profound and boundless capacity for love and patience that he hadn't known existed within him. Their days were marked by cherished routines, bedtime stories that wove magical worlds, laughter shared over meals, and heartfelt conversations about dreams and fears. Each night spent together was a reminder of how far they had come and how much they had built together. One late afternoon, after another series of interviews and evaluations, Albert and Laura returned home, exhausted yet hopeful. The weight of the process had been heavy, but the end was in sight. Albert sank into the sofa, and Laura settled beside him. He looked at the girl who had come to mean so much to him, feeling a swell of emotion that was both profound and fulfilling. "We're almost there," Laura Albert said, his voice filled with a mixture of relief and affection as he wrapped his arm around her shoulders. "I know the process has been tough, but we're doing this together, and that's what matters most." Laura rested her head on Albert's shoulder, a sense of safety and contentment enveloping her. "I know, Albert," she said softly, her voice brimming with sincerity, "and I'm very happy about that." Their shared moments of quiet, the simple joys of their daily life, and the unwavering support they offered each other were the foundation of their journey. As they faced the final steps of the adoption process, both Albert and Laura felt a renewed sense of hope and determination. The future, though still unfolding, seemed filled with promise and the potential for a new beginning. The transition from their previous lives to the promise of a future together was not just a change of circumstance, but a testament to the power of compassion, resilience, and the enduring strength of human connection. Their story, marked by its challenges and triumphs, was a powerful reminder of the profound impact that kindness and dedication can have on transforming lives and creating new possibilities. Day by day, step by step, the bond between Albert and Laura solidified. The adoption process was arduous, but each challenge faced only reinforced the certainty that they were on the right path. They were not just a girl and a man trying to build a new life, they were becoming a true family. The day of the final hearing arrived faster than Laura and Albert had anticipated. That morning, both were enveloped in a mix of nervousness and optimism. In the solemn atmosphere of the courtroom, they sat side by side, their hands clasped tightly together for support. Albert's reassuring presence gave Laura a sense of calm amidst the storm of uncertainty. The courtroom was quiet as the judge, A middle-aged man with a warm and approachable demeanor entered the room. He glanced over the documents before him, his face thoughtful as he reviewed the details of their case. After a few moments of silent contemplation, he turned to Albert and Laura, his eyes softening with a reassuring smile. "Mr. Morgan Laura," he began, his voice carrying a tone of gentle authority, "I have thoroughly reviewed all the material on your case. It is clear that you have formed a strong and loving bond." He paused for a moment, the weight of the moment settling in, and then continued, "I am pleased to announce that the adoption is officially approved. Congratulations. You are now officially father and daughter." The words seemed to hang in the air, and for a moment, everything else faded away. Laura's eyes filled with tears of joy as she processed the profound significance of the judge's words. She turned to Albert, who was equally overcome with emotion. They embraced tightly, the weight of their shared journey and the joy of this new beginning coalescing into a moment of pure, heartfelt connection. "We are a family now," Laura Albert said, his voice thick with emotion, his arms holding her close, as if to make the moment last forever. "Yes, we are," Laura replied, her smile radiating a mix of relief and elation. With the adoption officially finalized, a new chapter of Laura's life began. She started attending a school near Albert's house, a school known for its excellent facilities and dedicated educators. The first day of school was both an exciting and daunting experience for Laura. Albert accompanied her to the school gate, his presence a comforting anchor amidst the whirlwind of new experiences. "You'll do great," Laura Albert said, his voice filled with encouragement and belief. "Remember to be yourself and show all your potential." Laura nodded, her heart swelling with a blend of apprehension and confidence. As she stepped through the school gates, she carried with her not just the promise of a new beginning, but also the steadfast support of her new father. The initial weeks were a period of adjustment and adaptation. Laura navigated the challenges of her new environment with determination and grace. Her intelligence and commitment soon became evident to her teachers and peers alike. She eagerly engaged in various extracurricular activities, from the reading club to the math team, finding joy and purpose in her new pursuits. Albert watched with growing pride as Laura flourished. Each report card, each new friendship, and each small victory was a testament to her resilience and the nurturing environment they had created together. He saw Laura's transformation from a timid, uncertain girl into a confident and determined young woman. The pride he felt was not just for her academic achievements, but for the strength and character she demonstrated in every aspect of her life. Their days together were now filled with new routines and experiences. Evenings were spent sharing stories, discussing school projects, and planning future adventures. The laughter and joy that filled their home were a constant reminder of how far they had come and how much they had built together. Laura's journey from the streets to becoming Albert's daughter was a story of transformation, resilience, and the profound impact of love and kindness. As they moved forward, both were acutely aware of the gift they had given each other: a chance for a better future, a true family bond, and a shared hope for a life filled with possibilities. The road ahead was still unfolding, but with each step, Laura and Albert walked together, bound by the strength of their newfound family and the dreams they held for their future. One evening, as Laura sat at the kitchen table, absorbed in her homework, Albert approached and took a seat beside her. The kitchen was filled with the soft hum of the refrigerator and the distant chirping of crickets outside. Albert looked over at Laura, who was deeply focused on her work, her brow furrowed in concentration. "I'm very proud of you," Laura Albert said, breaking the quiet with a warm, encouraging smile. "You've been working hard and showing incredible talent. I want you to know that I'll do everything I can to ensure you have a bright future." Laura glanced up, her eyes meeting Albert's with a mixture of gratitude and determination. "Thank you, Albert. You've given me a chance for a better life, and I won't waste it." Albert reached out and gently stroked Laura's hair, feeling a profound sense of satisfaction and fulfillment from their journey together. It was a gesture of affection that spoke volumes about the bond they had formed. As the months flowed by, Laura's life continued to blossom. She eagerly participated in school competitions, earning several awards and accolades. Her academic excellence and positive attitude made her a respected figure among her peers. Albert, ever the supportive figure, was always by her side, making sure she had the resources and opportunities to thrive. The once spacious and quiet house had transformed into a lively home filled with joy and laughter. Weekends were now dedicated to exploring new places, museums, parks, and libraries. Every outing was an adventure and a learning experience. The joy they shared in these moments was a testament to the life they were building together. Albert knew that the road ahead would still have its share of challenges, but he was unwavering in his commitment to face them with Laura. His promise to ensure her bright future was not just a passing statement, but a daily, steadfast commitment. Together, they moved forward with love, dedication, and an optimistic outlook on what lay ahead. Years sped by, and Laura, now 17, found herself navigating the complexities of adolescence. Although her academic prowess continued to shine, the pressures of teenage life began to weigh heavily on her. Social dynamics became more intricate, with friendships ebbing and flowing unpredictably. Laura felt the pressure to conform and be accepted by her peers, a struggle that sometimes clashed with her values and sense of self. The academic workload intensified as well, bringing with it increased expectations and responsibilities. Amidst these pressures, Laura found herself grappling with deeper, more personal questions about her past. The uncertainty surrounding her origins, particularly the elusive details about her father, lingered in her thoughts. The memories of her mother, Lucy, and the snippets of information she had shared were tinged with sorrow and mystery, leaving Laura with a mix of sadness and curiosity. One tranquil night, after a particularly challenging day at school, Laura found solace on the porch, gazing up at the starlit sky. The night air was cool and soothing, offering a brief respite from the turmoil she felt inside. Albert, sensing Laura's distress, joined her on the porch. He sat down beside her, his presence a comforting anchor amidst her swirling thoughts. "Are you okay, Laura?" he asked softly, his voice gentle and filled with concern. Laura sighed deeply, her gaze fixed on the stars. "I'm just thinking about a lot of things, Albert. Sometimes I miss my mom so much and I wonder about my dad. I know almost nothing about him. When he died, I was very young, and my mom didn't talk much about him. When she did, she would start crying. And it was like opening a door to a room I was never allowed to enter." Albert listened attentively, his heart aching for Laura's pain. He understood that while their life together had brought many joys and achievements, there were still unspoken questions and emotional scars that needed to be addressed. As the stars twinkled above them, Albert placed a comforting hand on Laura's shoulder, offering silent support as she navigated these deep and personal reflections. Albert took a deep breath, knowing the weight of the conversation he was about to have with Laura. He had anticipated this moment, but that didn't make it any easier. "I understand, Laura. It's natural to have these questions and to miss your mom. Your mother, Lucy, was an incredibly strong woman. Despite all the hardships she faced, she loved you deeply and did her best to care for you. I'm sure of that, even though I didn't know her personally." Laura looked up at Albert, her eyes reflecting a mixture of relief and lingering sadness. "Thank you, Albert. I think I needed to hear that." He embraced her tightly, wanting to convey all the support and love he felt for her. "I will always be here for you, Laura. For any questions you have, for any difficult moments. You are my daughter now, and I love you very much." Laura nestled into Albert's embrace, feeling an immense sense of safety and warmth. "I love you too, Albert, more than words can express." While the trials of adolescence didn't simply vanish after their heartfelt conversation, something fundamental shifted within Laura. The knowledge that she could speak openly about her past and her questions with Albert made her feel more resilient and secure. The reassurance that she was not alone, no matter what challenges arose, bolstered her confidence. Albert, for his part, remained steadfast in his role as Laura's pillar of support. He understood the importance of continuing to help her navigate the complexities of growing up while confronting his insecurities. Their bond, forged through trust and unwavering love, deepened with each passing day. At 17, Laura made a pivotal decision that would chart the course of her future. She chose to study law. Inspired by Albert's example of integrity and justice, she saw this path as a means to contribute positively to society and assist others, mirroring the way Albert had helped her. This choice infused her life with a renewed sense of purpose and hope. Albert wholeheartedly supported Laura's decision, providing her with all the resources she needed to prepare for university entrance exams. He offered guidance, encouragement, and unwavering belief in her abilities. His pride in her ambition and determination was palpable, and he saw in Laura a reflection of the values he cherished deeply. Their journey together had transformed not only Laura's life but also Albert's. Through their shared experiences, they built a foundation of mutual respect and love. As Laura embarked on her path toward a career in law, Albert was there every step of the way, proud and supportive, knowing that their bond would continue to guide them through whatever the future held. On the day of Laura's high school graduation, emotions ran high. Pride, joy, and a touch of apprehension about the future mixed in her heart as she prepared to walk across the stage. Albert, seated among the gathered friends and family, felt a swell of pride as he watched Laura, now a young woman of remarkable strength and resilience, receive her diploma. The ceremony was a celebration of not just academic achievement, but of a journey marked by perseverance and love. After the ceremony, the air was filled with congratulatory wishes and heartfelt celebrations. As Laura and Albert stood together, surrounded by friends and family, Laura looked at Albert with deep gratitude. "Thank you for everything, Albert. I couldn't have done this without your support." Albert smiled warmly, his eyes reflecting the depth of his pride and affection. "I'm so proud of you, Laura. Your journey is just beginning, and I do not doubt that you will achieve great things." The transition to higher education and a future career in law was an exciting new chapter for Laura, but the road ahead was still filled with challenges. Yet, she faced these challenges with the same resilience and determination that had marked her journey so far. With Albert's unwavering love and encouragement, Laura continued to forge her path, driven by the values she had learned from him and the strength she had discovered within herself. As the years passed, Laura evolved into a remarkable young woman, dedicated to making a positive impact on the world through her work in law. Her commitment to helping others became a central part of her life, reflecting both the promise she had made to herself and the lessons she had learned from Albert. Albert, now a successful businessman with a flourishing career and a happy family, remained a constant source of support for Laura. Their bond, forged through shared experiences and mutual respect, continued to grow stronger. Albert's support was not just a backdrop but an integral part of Laura's achievements and ambitions. Looking back on their journey, Albert and Laura saw their story as a testament to the transformative power of love, hope, and dedication. They had faced numerous obstacles and challenges, but their unwavering commitment to each other and their shared values had guided them through. Their lives, intertwined through trials and triumphs, had become a symbol of the resilience of the human spirit. Albert and Laura knew that their greatest achievement was not merely overcoming difficulties, but building a life together filled with love, purpose, and hope. Their story was a reflection of the power of family to overcome adversity and create a brighter, more meaningful future. Thank you for joining us on this inspiring journey through Albert and Laura's story. Their incredible journey from uncertainty to a fulfilling life showcases the profound impact of love, resilience, and dedication. It reminds us that no matter the challenges we face, there is always hope for a brighter future with the right support and commitment. What have you learned from Albert and Laura's experience? How has their story resonated with you? We'd love to hear your thoughts and how you plan to bring these lessons into your own life. Please leave a comment below sharing one key takeaway and how you'll put it into practice. If you enjoyed this video, please leave your comment below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Your support helps us continue creating content that inspires and uplifts us. Thank you for watching.